Hey guys, it's Alex from 7th Hour Films, back again with Attack on Titan. Last time on Attack on Titan, we had That Day, The Fall of Shiganshina Part 2, where we continued on where Part 1 left off, where basically the gang made it over to the rail boat things that were pretty cool, as Shiganshina was evacuated. And they were headed to another city along a different, like one of the more inner walls. And everything pretty much everything went to hell because Wall Maria had been broken by the Titans. We had a bit of a time skip where a bunch of the refugees were were put to work in the fields, but they didn't really yield anything great. And then at the end, we got Eren, Mikasa, and Arnim, and they were like, hey, we're going to sign up for the Scouts, you know? And they did, and at the end, they were at the Scouts, and they had just started. It's going to be 3 years before they, graduate from the Scouts. We don't know if we're going to be skipping over that time or not. We have no idea at this point. But, that's pretty much that. So this is where I say no spoilers in the comments whatsoever, and we might as well hop right into this episode of Attack on Titan. Here we go. Alright guys, so I've been having some copyright issues with this episode, and because of that, we're going to have to throw it to a redirect. Now, what on earth does that mean if you're not familiar with my redirects, I guess? Well, this is what I do with some of my anime videos and obviously my Merlin episodes. Basically, what it means is I've taken the reaction segment out of this video, and instead I've uploaded it to a completely different place. And if you want to watch my reaction, it's pretty simple to watch. Actually, you can still watch it completely unencumbered by anything. All you have to do is head down in the description or to the pinned comment on this video, and there'll be a link there, and that takes you to the reaction, and it's just the reaction like normal. It's all edited, around 10 minutes, depending on the episode. It's down around 10 minutes, footage is in the corner, it's all edited nice and good. You can watch that, and you can have a good time, hopefully. And when you're done with that, you can pop right back up here to this video for the discussion on this episode. So, yeah, sorry it has to be like this, but sometimes I can't get past copyright issues. So, that's pretty much it. Again, down in the description or the pinned comment is the reaction for you to go watch. And when you're done, you can watch the discussion. So, yeah, have fun. Okay. Man, oh man. That was, alright, that was good. A good training episode. Kind of a funnier episode than we've had. I mean, the past two episodes have been nothing but, tragedy and, horrifying images and all this stuff. This time at least, this time was good. This time was good, definitely. This was a bit happier. Again, kind of like the title, A Dim Light Amid Despair. That is honestly this episode. So, alright, that was really awesome, man. Really awesome. So, and I was I guess I was half and half on there being a time jump. Because, yes, there was a time jump. It's been 2 years since the attack on Shiganshina. But they're not going to be skipping over the training, which is pretty cool. So that's nice. Oh, jeez. I should get a coaster. I don't have a coaster. Oh, well. I'm getting a lot of condensation on my water, so... Oh, well. I mean, it's on a tablecloth, so it'll be alright. Anyway. So, yeah, a bit of a funnier episode, which I'm glad for. I'm glad that these aren't all, these horrific nightmare episodes. We do have some moments of levity, and I'm really digging all the characters that have been introduced here. So let's go ahead and hop into the notes. The first thing I wrote down is orientation. So yeah, that was pretty cool when we had Colonel Jiren going through. I'm just gonna call him Jiren because I should call him Dio, honestly, because that's a better reference. But you know, it's the guy. If you watch any of my other like anime videos, he pops up in basically everything except I think Death Note. But he's Endeavor, he's Jiren, he's Dio Brando. So yeah, Colonel Dio, him just yelling in everyone's faces. I did like that. That was good, because it kind of like. Honestly, it's good because it does sort of weed out some of the recruits that we can't keep. I said like 8 times there, and that's the thing is like at the end of that day, it's like there were people already going home. There were dropouts, because they couldn't handle the pressure of Colonel Dio yelling in their face. Dio, yeah. So I like that. We had a couple characters that were introduced in this episode. The first one I wrote down was Sasha, Potato Girl. I don't even know, I thought we were going to get a bit more with her, but for the most part, everything concerning her is about food, She snuck a potato into orientation, ate the potato during orientation while this guy's yelling at everyone. As soon as she smelled food, she bum rushed that other girl and started eating the bread. And luckily that girl was, bringing her food and water. And then she wanted, some of Mikasa's bread. It's so far there is nothing about this girl that hasn't been food related. It's just very interesting. So I don't know, but it'll be interesting to get more of her. That's the thing is, we've kind of introduced, a number of colorful characters. We didn't do too much with them, but I'm excited to, see them, in future battles and stuff. Honestly, I kind of want to see what, Sasha doing something other than eating, But that would be funny if that was her running joke, is, she's always eating, That'd be funny. That'd be funny. Okay, we had the guy who had the hots for Mikasa. I don't remember what his name was, but he also wanted to be part of the military police. I'm going to see if I can try and go back. That's going to be a little difficult. It might be a little difficult to pinpoint where that would be. Okay. So it's about right here. What?
Join the military police, sir. The best of the best.
Was it John Cusack? What?
You want to live in the interior, do you? Yeah. It was my grandfather, sir.
This is gonna take me a sec to pinpoint. Ah! Jeez. I accidentally scrolled on the video. Oh, maybe I could put subs on? No, I can't turn subs. All right, I'm just gonna listen. It's gonna be a sec.
Through stress and denigration, we revert them into blank slates. From there, we can mold them bit by bit into proper soldiers. He is the first step in that process.
You seem to really excel at that back home, sir. Row 4, about face.
There are some passing by.
All right, here we go.
The drill instructors.
I'm really listening.
Those recruits have seen. They were there, witnesses to the hell of a Titan attack 2 years ago. You can read it in their faces. Come on, let's go.
What do we have over here? Sean Kirstein, sir, from the Trust District. And why are you here, Cadet?
Jean Kirstein? Is that it? You guys will help me out in the comments. I'm gonna call him Jean. It sounds like he's saying Jean, like something along those lines. Damn it, I just spent all that time trying to get his name, and I still don't really know. All right. But yeah, we had him, and that was interesting, like, because first off, okay, yeah, a guy is butting heads with Eren. Surprise, surprise, yeah, that seems to happen a lot. But it's interesting, too, that, okay, so he wants to be part of the military police, which the one guy towards the end also wanted to be part of the military police. So that... Oh, here, let's just... What is the military police exactly?
You should join the military police, sir. The best of the best.
That's nice. You want to live in the interior, do you?
Yes.
Okay, so if you join the military police, you live in the interior. Okay, that's interesting. So he wouldn't be on the front lines. Eren wants to be like the front of the front lines, basically. Like, he wants to be on recon, which would pretty much put him out in the field all the time. So, but there are others that want a more, I suppose, comfortable life, So this guy would be on the interior. So I would assume that would be more towards, like, the center of this country, I guess. I don't even know, like, what to call it, but more towards maybe the middle wall. So that's interesting. And honestly, they say, like, if you want to be a part of the military police, I think it's kind of like you're kind of looked down on. It's like, oh, well, you're not going to really be facing Titans that much unless they get to the interior. But at the same time, it's like Arnim said, it's like, there's nothing wrong with, looking out for your own life, Like, some of them don't have the same sort of conviction that, like, Arnim or Eren have, And we even see that with the two guys at the end, where one of them wants to go out like Eren, has that conviction, and wants to go out and, reclaim his home, whereas the other guy from the same town is like, fuck that, I'm going to the interior, man, Like, I'll fight if I have to, but I want to go to the interior, try to live, So there's that. So that was interesting. But yeah, the one guy, he does seem to, like, have, I guess, kind of have a crush on Mikasa. Or at the very least, like, he really liked her black hair. Look, I get it. I get it. I love long black hair, too. I get it. He had no point to what he was saying, though. He just went up and was like, your hair's pretty. And she was like, cool. And just walked away. Because I mean, that's kind of how... she has a very quiet demeanor, So, like, that makes sense. Obviously, she just was like, all right, cool. And just walked away, But yeah, I'm wondering, like... And, okay, what was the whole thing of... He wiped his pride on the other guy? What the hell does that mean? Like, what? Like, for a second, I was like, did he just, do a quickie and rub it? No, that couldn't have been it, It's like, that's not it. And I was like, I don't know what the fuck, like, what did he just wipe? Like, I don't know. That was weird, but hey, I am, like, that's the thing is, as weird as some of these characters are, between this guy and, like, Sasha, it's like, I do still want to see them, in these future episodes. Like, they're very colorful characters, and they are so weird, but I want to see how they deal with, like, Titans, I want to see that. So, that was pretty cool. Speaking of Mikasa, she did cut her hair, which, that was pretty, that was so instant. It's like, oh, well, you should be worried about your hair when, we're gonna start using the ODM gear, and she was like, oh, alright, I'll cut it. That was that. Next scene, she has her hair cut. Like, well, alright then. That makes me curious, like, if, I would assume what he's saying is that her long hair would have gotten caught up in that? I don't know. Something like that. I would assume, and that's why she cut her hair. So... And that's the other thing, too, is that, we do see, like, in the intro and in the ending, when they do those sequences, we do see sort of, I guess they're more standard designs where Eren is a little bit taller. Mikasa did have the short hair, and I think she has a scarf, too. which she wasn't wearing in this episode. So we pretty much already knew that she was going to cut her hair. So wow, you can just see that, can't you? You can just see that and be like, oh, now we know where Alex went to college. Oh well. It's not like that's gonna do anything for you. Okay, we had the aptitude test, which was interesting. So yeah, the aptitude test, which was just hang by your waist on these, because yeah, it's testing the ODM gear, you know, because you got to be able to swing around and stuff. Now I noticed like they do have a lot of like, it looks like they have belts wrapped around their legs. I would assume that's like with pilots, where like isn't that a thing where like pilots, they wear specific clothes to keep the blood flow out of their legs, basically, because when you're up that high and you know and shit's going crazy with like the G-force, like all the blood in your head could like rush out. So you need to make sure, like I'm pretty sure it's like you have to make sure like it has nowhere to go, so you try to keep it out of your legs, so you wear like really tight leggings. I'm assuming that's what like all the belts and stuff are for. That would make sense, honestly. So yeah. But yeah, so we had the aptitude test to see. It was actually interesting that, yeah, Eren wasn't that good at first, but see, at first I was like, okay, well, that's kind of interesting that he's just not good at it, you know? And it's like, okay, so he's going to train and get better. But honestly, he didn't need to do that. It was the faulty belt, which was actually interesting. It was the faulty belt which made him fail. So, and that's the thing, is when he did train and then he used it, he was able to stay up for, you know, maybe like 10 seconds before he fell over again. And then that's when Colonel Dio noticed, like, oh, you have a faulty belt. So when they gave him a new belt, it worked perfectly. In fact, more than perfectly, because now he has trained, so he's got to be like one of the best now. He's got to be like one of the best at doing that now. So yeah, but it was interesting, like, after everything from, like, the last 2 episodes and the beginning of this episode, for Eren just to fail, like, that was a little crushing, man. It was like, oh, geez, he's failed. What do we do, you know? So, but yeah. But that was all really interesting. I did like when we talked to the other 2 guys who were from, so what did they say? Like, they lived in a village out past the wall. Was that it? That's pretty crazy. And then, so the Titans must not, like, attack very often there, but it was only when they attacked Shiganshina that they also attacked their village, too. So, man, that is crazy. That's really crazy, then. So, yeah, it was interesting to get the 2 of them, and honestly, the fact that they weren't very, like, I don't want to say like comedy relief characters, but sort of like the lighter characters like Military Policeman and Sasha, Potato Girl. So yeah, like that was interesting, getting them too. So I like that, having some more like serious characters as well. But I also like that there's a difference between the 2 of them. They're not the same in their goals. Like, you know, one's like, oh, I will go and I will defeat the Titans and I will take back my home. The other, who should be, like, exactly the same, is basically saying, it's like, I'm going to go to the fucking interior, man. I'm not dealing with this shit, you know? So, that's interesting, sort of just the difference in philosophy there. But yeah, that is pretty much all I wrote down. Great episode. I enjoyed it. I'm glad that we got a little bit of levity in this. So this isn't going to all be doom and gloom. It's like, no, we do have some moments, you know, in between before we get to more serious moments. So I do enjoy that. That was pretty cool. And yeah, we will have to see where we are going next time. Hopefully we get some more training. I love training in anime. So hopefully we get some more of that. But yeah, that is pretty much it. With all that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. If you want to watch more of my Attack on Titan reactions, you can click on the playlist, you can subscribe if you haven't done that already, and be sure you hit that notification bell. You can support me on Patreon and follow me on social media, links below in the description. See you guys later.